In the summer of 356 BCE, in the ancient capital of Pella, Macedonia, a child was born who would shake the world. His name was Alexander III, later known across Persia, India, and the East as Sikander, the Persian form of his name meaning defender or warrior. Son of the ambitious King Philip II and the fiery Olympias of Epirus, young Alexander grew up surrounded by tales of glory and the sharp intellect of his tutor, the philosopher Aristotle. From Aristotle, Alexander learned philosophy, science, medicine, and the idea that the world was larger than the narrow Greek view. But his true classroom was the battlefield. At just 16, he governed Macedonia while his father campaigned. At 18, he led the decisive charge at the Battle of Coronea, helping Philip crush the Greek city-states and unite them under Macedonian rule. Tragedy struck in 336 BCE. Philip was assassinated at a wedding feast. Alexander, only 20 years old, seized the throne. He swiftly crushed rebellions in Greece and the north, then turned his eyes eastward. His father had dreamed of invading the mighty Persian Empire, the superpower that had long dominated Asia. Alexander made that dream his destiny. In 334 BCE, with an army of about 40,000 infantry and 5,000 cavalry, mostly Macedonians, Greeks, and allies, he crossed the Hellespont into Asia Minor. His troops were well-trained, loyal, and inspired by their young king who fought at the front lines. The first major clash came at the river Granicus. Persian satraps underestimated the daring Macedonian. Alexander led a bold cavalry charge across the river and shattered their forces. City after city fell or opened its gates. He liberated Greek colonies and showed mercy to those who submitted. In 333 BCE, at the Battle of Issus, Alexander faced the Persian king Darius III himself. Though outnumbered, the Macedonians used superior tactics and discipline. Alexander charged straight toward Darius, who fled the field, abandoning his family and treasure. Alexander treated Darius's captured mother, wife, and daughters with royal respect, an act that won him admiration. Next came the siege of Tyre, a heavily fortified island city. It took 7 months of brilliant engineering, building a causeway across the sea, but Alexander refused to give up. Tyre fell. Gaza followed. In 332 BCE, he entered Egypt as a liberator. The Egyptians, tired of Persian rule, crowned him pharaoh. In the desert, he visited the oracle of Ammon at Siwa, where he was declared the son of the god. Whether he believed it or not, it fueled his legend. Alexander founded Alexandria, one of many cities he named after himself. It would become a great center of learning. By 331 BCE, he marched into the heart of Persia. At the vast plain of Gaugamela, Darius assembled his largest army yet, including war elephants and scythed chariots. Alexander's genius shone again. He refused to attack head-on, using feints and a slanted formation to create a gap in the Persian lines. He charged directly at Darius once more. The great king fled a second time. Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis, the glittering Persian capitals, opened to Alexander. He burned parts of Persepolis in revenge for earlier Persian invasions of Greece, though he later regretted the destruction. Darius was murdered by his own nobles in 330 BCE. Alexander pursued the killers and took the title King of Asia. But he did not stop. He pushed into the rugged mountains of Bactria and Sogdia, modern Afghanistan and Central Asia, fighting fierce tribes and marrying Roxana, a local princess, as part of his policy of blending cultures. His greatest test came in 326 BCE when he crossed into India, the land of the Indus and its warrior kings. At the Hydaspes River, modern Jhelum in Pakistan, he faced King Porus and his army with war elephants. The battle was brutal. Rain turned the ground to mud, but Alexander's tactics prevailed. Porus fought bravely until wounded and captured. When asked how he wished to be treated, Porus replied, "Like a king." Impressed, Alexander restored his kingdom and made him an ally. The Indian campaign exhausted his men. They had marched over 20,000 miles, fought countless battles, and seen wonders from the Mediterranean to the edge of the known world. At the river Hyphasis, Bios, the army mutinied. They wanted to go home. For the first time, Alexander could not persuade them. Reluctantly, he turned back. The return journey was harsh. The army suffered through the Gedrosian desert, where many died of thirst and heat. Alexander shared their hardships, refusing water when there was not enough for all. Back in Babylon in 323 BCE, plans for new campaigns, to Arabia and perhaps beyond, filled his mind. But at only 32 years old, he fell seriously ill, likely from fever or malaria. On his deathbed, when asked who should succeed him, he reportedly whispered, "To the strongest." Alexander the Great left behind the largest empire the ancient world had yet seen, stretching from Greece to Egypt, across Persia, and into northwest India. He never lost a battle. He spread Greek language, culture, art, and ideas across 3 continents, creating the Hellenistic age where East and West mixed for centuries. His empire quickly fractured among his generals, but his legend only grew. In the East, stories of Sikander portrayed him as a larger-than-life hero, explorer, and sometimes even a seeker of immortality. Sikander's life was short but blazing. He was a brilliant commander, a restless dreamer, and a man who believed the world could be won. He changed history forever, not just through conquest, but by opening roads between civilizations that would never fully close again. If you enjoyed the epic journey of Sikander, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button if you believe Alexander was one of the greatest leaders in history. Drop a comment and tell me, what would you have done if you were in Alexander's place at the river Bios? And if you want more stories of legendary conquerors, kings, and forgotten empires, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon. New history video drops every week. Thank you for watching the story of Sikander. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired.